Welcome back to part 2 of this 3-part series looking at glass coatings. If you haven't already seen part 1, here's a quick recap of our test car and how it looked before anything was applied. Now remember, we're after real world results, so we gave the windscreen a good clean and then decontaminated it. We then split the windscreen into 3 with our Kamikaze glass coating on the left and wax on the right. So, let's come and take a look at the results. Now, again, you might be used to seeing TikTok videos where people blast pressure washers at the car to show just how amazing their glass coating is. But look, unless you're going through a category 4 hurricane, I doubt you'll ever experience that kind of rain, right? And if for some reason you do find yourself in the middle of a hurricane, you don't need a glass coating, you need a priest. Anyway, so here you'll see we're cycling through different settings on your everyday hosepipe, from a light misting all the way through to, let's call it, a heavier downpour setting. And straight away you can see that there is a huge difference either side of our control area in the middle. You'll have already noticed that the water behaviour has completely changed where the wax and coating have been applied. Now we can see the difference the hydrophobicity is making, not just as the water makes contact with the windscreen, but also how it behaves as it runs off the surface, and how it, let's call, sticks to the surface afterwards. And at first glance you could say that the wax is doing almost as well as the coating, but when we change the water contact angle here, you can already see a difference in how they perform side by side. Again, not just in the dynamic behaviour of the water, but also how much of it is effectively left behind sitting on the surface afterwards. Now I promised real world results, so let's see how we got on after our initial Kodak moment. Now annoyingly, I didn't think to get videos at the time, but here's a snap from 1 week later when we did a quick maintenance wash. You can already see how the glass coating is repelling the snow foam versus the wax in the control area. And now you can see how over a month later there's an even more noticeable difference in how the wax and the coating are performing, this time under a heavy downpour. To be honest, this is what we'd expect to see. The wax is giving almost no benefit there, albeit some when you compare with the control area, but the glass coating is holding up really well. And 4 months later the change is even more obvious. Effectively, the mechanical abrasion from the wipers is chipping away at whatever sits on top of the surface and degrading it. Because the wax is a thin sacrificial layer and not chemically bonded to the surface, it's not going to last as long, and this is what you see in the real world. So here's our view of glass coatings after 4 months, and it's exactly what our clients say to us too. Because the biggest benefit is how a dedicated glass coating improves visibility in wet conditions. Now by doing so, it gives drivers a bit more confidence in wet weather. The repellency of the water just helps give a much clearer view out of the window, which is great, especially in unexpected moments. We also find a dedicated coating lasts a lot longer than most products you can pick up, let's say off the shelf in your average high street store. And it's worth adding here that Pro Detailer magazine have just done a much more comprehensive review of a wide range of glass coatings, so definitely check out issue 17 of their magazine to see what came out on top. It might surprise you because it definitely surprised us. And finally, we found that the Kamikaze coating gives very little wiper judder, which is huge for our clients because noise is something that can really irritate, especially on long journeys. So, hope you found that useful. Join us next time for part 3, where I'll be showing you even longer term results and what we did to maintain the glass coating and its performance. See you soon.